Hello all, in today's chapter we will be studying loops in Python. So why are these loops used? Let us take an example. Suppose if you want to get numbers printed from 1 to 100. Will you be typing the numbers like 1, enter, 2, enter, 3, enter and so till 100? Okay fine, even if you type the numbers from 1 to 100, suppose. So if I give you numbers from 1 to 1000, will you be typing so many numbers? Won't it be hectic for you like typing continuous from 1 to 1000? In that condition, when you want a certain program like numbers to get incremented by certain steps, like from 1 to 1000, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, it gets incremented continuously by step of 1. In that condition, we use loops. So loop is nothing but we use a program when we have the repetition of a program continuously. Over here I have defined what is loops. Sometimes if we want to repeat a set of statements again and again, so in that case we use loops. Moving towards the types of loops, there are two types of loops. One is the while loop and second is the for loop. For instance, we will be starting with the while loop. For while loop, we will take an example to get printed numbers from 1 to 10. Let me start from 1. While I is less than or equal to 10, I want the numbers to get printed from 1 to 10. Print I, and I will set an increment over here I plus 1. Let's just execute it. See, once I execute it, I have got numbers from 1 to 10. Right? Now how does it function? Over here, initially I have given the value I equals 1. So the value of I is 1. While I is less than equal to 10, what is the value of I? I is 1. 1 is less than equal to 10? Yes, 1 is less than 10, right? So once this is true, okay, while this is true, see I am repeating again, while this is true, it will go below. If this is false, it will come out. Now over here, if this is true, right, 1 is less than 10. So it will print me the value of I. What is the value of I? It is 1. Presently it is 1, so it is printed with 1 over here. Next line when it goes, it will be getting incremented, means 1 plus 1 will give me 2 over here. So what is the new value of I? The new value of I is 2. So from here it will go over here back while 2 is less than 10. Yes, it is less than 10. Go down to the next line, print 2, that is I's value is 2 now over here. So it will print me 2. Right? Same way it will go down. Okay. 2 plus 1 is 3. The new value is 3. It is incremented. It will go up. While 3 is less than 10. Yes, it is less than 10. Go to the next statement. Get printed 3. 3 has got printed over here. Next, 3 plus 1. Okay, next value of I is 4. Go up. 4 is less than 10. Yes, it is less than 10. Print 4. 4 has got printed. So this will repeat continuously 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now it is over here at 9. So print 9. So 9 has got printed. Next, 9 plus 1. It is 10. It will go up over here. Is 10 less than equal to 10? Yes, 10 is equal to 10 over here. So it will go down. It will get printed. Print 10 over here. So 10 will get printed over here. Once 10 has got printed over here. So 10 plus 1 is what? 11. Now it will go up again. While 11 is less than equal to 10. Is 11 less than 10? No. Is it equal to 10? No. So this is a false statement now. So it will come out of the loop directly. Fine. So we have to set a condition over here as and how you want the output to get printed. Right? So we have got numbers printed from 1 to 10. As how we have got numbers printed from 1 to 10, we can also set an infinite loops. So what are infinite loops? It will go continuously. It has no stop or no end over here. Let's begin with an infinite loop. I will copy the same thing. Let me make it greater than equal to 10. I's value over here, I will set it as 11 and delete this. So this program is designed for an infinite loop. What is infinite? When the condition is same, it will go on continuously over here. So we set a condition in such a case that it won't be false ever. So if you see over here, the initial value I have set it I equals 11. If I set I equals 11, let me take it as k. I won't take it as I because initially I have taken it as I. So let's not confuse it. See, we will start with this program. Over here I have defined k equals 11. So now 11 is greater than 10. Yes, it is greater than 10. 11 will be printed. After getting printed, 11 plus 1, 12. It will go up. 12 is greater than 10. Yes, it is greater than 10. Get 12 printed. 12 plus 1, 13. 13 is greater than 10. Yes, get 13 printed. Next number will be 14. So 15 is greater than 10. Yes, 16 is greater than 10. 17, 18, 19, 20. Whatever the numbers, everything is greater than 10. So if I run this, just see over here. See, it is getting on incrementing continuously. It is getting incremented over here. If you just see over here, if I get this down over here, it will go up. Means the numbers are generated continuously. The numbers are generated. This is an infinite loop. It has no end over here. We can't stop it over here. So what we need to do is, for this infinite loop, go to kernel, restart. Next, see, I have given over here, I have written clearly the while and the condition. What is the condition over here? It has also been written, the blocks keeps on executing until the condition is true. Means this will keep on repeating until it's true. Once it is false, it will come out of it. And this is the body of it. We'll go back over here. See over here, if you have a look over here, while I is less than equal to 10, which means until this statement is true, this loop will keep on functioning. But when this comes to false, means after 10 gets printed over here, 10 plus 1 is what? 11. So 11 is less than equal to 10. No, it is false. So once it is false, it will come out of the loop. Or once it gets exhausted, it will come out of the loop. So it is given over here. It keeps on executing until it's true. So once it is false or once it is exhausted, it will come out of that loop. Next, I have given a program over here. Okay, you can put your name over here and you can get this printed. This will get printed 5 times over here. I have mentioned clearly. It starts from 0 till less than 5. Over here, replace my name by your name. Put a timestamp over here and tell me how many times it is repeated in the comment below. Next, write a program to print the contents of the list using while loop. So from the list, you have to print the contents whatever is there inside that list using a while loop. Let's go back. Let me create a list. Let's make a list of fruits. I want to get all the contents inside this printed. Use a while loop for this. I will write I equals 0. Why I'm putting 0 over here? Why not 1? Because over here it starts from 0. The index is 0 over here. Apple's index is 0. Next, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the total index is 4 over here. While I is less than or equal to 4, print fruits I. Let me run this. Oh, what has happened over here? Apple. Okay, it is less than or equal to 10. I have not put an increment statement over here, right? I have to put an increment statement. I equals I plus 1. even if I don't put a statement over here, what it considers is I is 0. So it will come over here, I is 0, again it will go down over here. Suppose this statement is not there, it will consider 0 is less than equal to 4, yes it is less than equal to 4, it will get 0 printed, so apple has got printed over here. Still it is printing continuous, it will go on, then it will go up over here, again 0 is less than 4, yes, get apple printed, again it will go up, and this will go on because the index is considered as 0 over here, it is not being incremented, so I need to increment it. Stop this. Increment it, run it. Yes, it has got printed apple, banana, chiku, kiwi and mango, right? So we are done with this. Next, we move towards for loops. So why are this for loop required? As how we have used the while loop in this particular program. In this program, in order to print a list, see how many lines I have written. The program 1, 2, 3 and 4. If there are lists to get printed, in that case we use a for loop. In for loop you can perform the same program within 3 lines instead of 4 lines, 3 or less than 3 lines. If you go back over here, for loop, see how for loop is written. This is your fruits. Then for items in fruits, print item. Let me run the same thing again. Now over here I will be using for loop over here for items in fruits, enter, print items. For items in fruits, what are the items in fruits? Apple, banana, chiku, kiwi and mango, right? So for these items in fruits, print the items. So whatever items are there inside that particular list, you just get it printed. Run it. Yes, this has got printed. See, the program is hardly 2 lines over here, but over here if you compare, it was 4 lines. So whenever the lists are there, we use for loop in order to get it printed. After this problem, we move towards the next topic, that is range function. The example of range function is given over here. For I in the range 0 to 7, print I. So how the range function is given over here? You have to set a range, the start, the stop, and how much step do you want. So why do we require this range? Let's go over here. Suppose I want to get this fruits printed till kiwi over here. I don't want to get it printed till mango. I just want till kiwi. So in that case, I will be using the range function for I in range. Kiwi is at index 3rd, right? So I will write over here, I want it till 3. Print fruits I. Now run it. See, kiwi is at 3rd index, but I didn't got a kiwi over here. Instead, I got a chiku. So chiku is at 2nd index. So whenever you assign a range, so it won't be considering this value. Instead, it will be considering the previous value, that is a 2. So it is considering right from 0, 1 and 2. Now suppose if I want kiwi, then what I have to write? It considers the previous index. It doesn't consider the value which I have given. So instead of 3, it will be considering 2. So if I want kiwi, kiwi is at 3rd index. So what I have to give? I have to give it as 4. So if I give it as 4, then it will be considering 3, right? Run it. Fine. So in a range, whenever you assign the range over here, it doesn't consider that index. Instead of it, it considers the previous index, means from 0 to the previous index, whatever it is, from 0 to 3. Suppose I put over here 2. So it will be considering 0 to 1 over here. So 0 and 1 index. It won't be considering 2 over here. It won't be considering the 2nd index. Instead, it will be considering only the 1st and the 2nd. So this is how we use a range function. See, we already know in a range function, it considers from 0 till whichever index you assign before that a previous it considers, right? So even if I write over here 0, comma, and I run it, it's one and the same. Suppose instead of 0, I want first index, from first till whichever index it is. So in that case, we have to write this index. So first index is banana, second index is chiku, banana and chiku, and third, it will ignore that, right? It just considers the previous. Next is the step size. For step size, we will take number instead. We will take number. I will just write number inside this. 1, 2, 1. If I run it, simply if I run it, let me run it till 6th. Simply if I run it, it will print me each and every element from here. Which means, if I give it 1 over here and I run it again, see, it doesn't make me any difference. Means this is the step size 1. 1 step size means it will just take a number ahead of it. Means if it has taken the index 1 over here. Okay. So right from index 1, the next value is what? This. The index 2 is 3, right? Then index 3 is 4. So it will take 2, 3, 4 continuously. Instead of this, if I write 2 over here, so this is the step size over here, right? So it will take second step, it won't take the first step. So from here, it won't take this step. Instead of it will ignore this and it will take the second step. Then from 2 directly it will jump to 4. Okay. Then from 4 it won't take the next step, directly it will jump to 6 over here. So it is printing me 2, 4 and 6. So this is the step size. So over here I have given as 2, you can give it as 3, you can give it as 4, as many step size you want. So if you give it as 3, so it will consider, right over here 3. If I give a step size as 3, run it. So from 2, it will take a third jump, means from 2, 3, 4 it will ignore, directly it will go to the third element, means 1, 2, 3. To the third element it goes directly from 1, 2 to 5. It takes the third element from 3, 4 and 5, that is 1, 2 and 3, that is the third element. So from 5th it will take the third element now. First element, second element, third element. So third element is 8. So from 5th it has taken the third element as 8, right? So step size is 3 over here, right? So according to your requirement you can alter the step size. After range, we can also assign else in a loop. Over here, we can also assign a else for else. Print, I have printed run. So what happens over here if you assign a else statement over here? Initially it will go through the for loop. It will go through this loop continuously, and once this gets exhausted or once this is false, that time it will print the else statement. So once everything has got printed and it gets exhausted, that time it will print the else statement. Same as you can use else for, you can also use for a while loop. So else can be used for while as well as for loop. So what is the importance of this else statement? Why this is being used? We'll be learning ahead. If you go over here, we see the next is the break statement. So what does a break statement does is, whenever the condition given, suppose I double equals is 3 is true. If this is true, then it will break over here. So let's just run it and understand it. I copy the same thing over here. And let me run it. Let me run all the numbers over here. Delete. Run. So it is running over here till 8. Fine, it's okay. Now, suppose if I don't want everything to get printed, I just want to get the starting first 3 elements to get printed, or starting first 3 index, right from 0 to 3 to get printed. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Suppose I want to get printed till 4. So what I will do, I will put a statement over here. If I equals 3, break. Now you run it. What happens over here is, it is printed till the third index over here. 0, 1, 2, 3. Right? Till 4th. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So if you check over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Till the third index it has got to be printed. So using the else statement, we can know that whether the program has successfully executed or not. If it gets terminated in between, the else statement won't be executed. So else statement is used especially in a break statement to check for the successful execution of a program. If the program doesn't get executed successfully, means the program doesn't get run fully. It should get run fully, right? So if it gets run full on or it gets run successfully, it should print me till 8. It doesn't print till 8. Means it doesn't execute successfully. Hence, if it doesn't execute successfully, in that case, else won't be printed. So from this, we will come to know whether your program has got executed or not. If you get the else statement at the end, which means it has got executed. Suppose if I don't get I have printed, which means the program is not executed successfully. After the break statement, we move towards the next statement, that is the continue statement. So what is the continue statement does over here is, if I equals 2, okay, it will continue over here and it will pass directly to the first statement over here. So let's just run it and understand it. I will run the same thing. I will start from the 0 over here instead of 1 to make it much simpler. Till 8. If I equals 3, continue. And remove this. Let me run this to understand it much better. Just take over here as 9. Run it. See, if I run this over here, what we see over here is 0, 1, 2, 3. See, 3 is missing over here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So from this, from 0 till 8, the value 3 is missing. So why this value 3 is missing? What happens over here actually is, initially for it starts from 0, right? So if 0 equals 3, is 0 equals 3? No, it is not equals to 3. So it won't consider this. So if this is false, 0 is equal to 3. If this is false, then directly it will go to the print. It will print me 0th index value, that is 0 over here. Then next, it will go back over here. The next value is 1, right? Is 1 equal to 3? No, it is not equal to 3. So get this printed. So 1 has got printed over here. Next, go up. It will give me 2 over here. Is 2 equals to 3? No, it is not equal to 3. So if this is false, then this won't execute, right? So it will get me 2 printed. Again, it will go up over here. It will give me 3 over here. Is 3 equals to 3? Yes, 3 is equal to 3. So once 3 is equal to 3, what it will say? Continue. Continue means directly it will go over here. Means it won't get 3 printed. So hence 3 is not there over here. Understood? 3 is not there over here. So from continue statement, directly it will jump to the for statement. It won't execute the bottom statements. In a continue command, it won't execute the bottom statement. Directly it will jump to the first command itself. So that is what the continue statement does. It doesn't execute the commands which is written below it. So hence 3 has not got printed over here because it has continued directly to the first statement. The next after this is a pass statement. Pass statement is very easy. For this equals this. If I run this, what it will give me? It will give me an error. Why? For so and so, you should write something under this, right? If you don't write anything under it, it will give me an error. And suppose you don't want to write anything under it, you can just write a pass Pass means what? Ignore it. In common words, just ignore it. It won't perform anything. It will just pass to the next statement. It will just ignore it and it will move towards the next statement. So hence see, it has not given me an error now after running it. That is the function of pass statement. Next is the exercise. Write a Python program to print multiplication table of a given number using for loop. So we have to print a multiplication table over here. For the multiplication table, you have to take an input over here. So write num. The input should be in form. Enter the number for the multiplication. Which loop is been told over here? Let's check using the for loop. So we will go with the for loop over here. For I in range, you want the table from 2 ones are 2 till 2 tens are, right? So I have to write 1 till 10. 10 means I will write 11 over here. Then get it printed. For print I will be using a f string over here. For f string number, whichever number it is, number, multiplication sign I, that equals num multiplied by I. Run it. Let's take a table of 5. Enter. Yes, we have got the table of 5. Next, second is write a program to greet all the person name stored in list L1 which starts from V. Okay. So whichever name which starts from V, we have to greet it. Over here, what you need to do is whichever name which starts from V, you need to greet it, right? We will start over here. For name in L1, we have to check the name which starts with V. So we have to use over here starts with V. I have to put an if statement over here. If this starts with this, then you need to print it. Print. You need to greet it. So we write hello. Then the name. This is this. Print this. Fine. Run it. Okay, it has given me hello. People and hello Vishnudas over here. After this, we go towards the next problem. Attempt the problem 1 with while loop. Okay, using while loop. So I leave this up to you. Perform this. You can do it. Next, write a program to find whether the given number is prime or not. In order to check the number is prime or not, you should understand what is a prime number. Prime number is that number that is divisible by 1 and it is divisible by itself. Which means it can't be divided by any other number apart from 1 and itself. So if we have an example like number 9, 9 can be divided by number 3, right? 3 3s are 9. So it is not a prime number. If we take an example of number 11, so 11 is divisible by itself and by 1. So 11 is a prime number. 13 is a prime number. First we need to take an input over here. So for input, I will put num over here, number equals. We need to take it in integer form. Enter the number. After that, we have to give a for loop for I in range. I will set a range from 2 till the number. Why I am taking 2 over here? Because see, prime number can be divided only by 1 and by itself. So I am ignoring 1 from here and the particular number So even if I put a num over here, say if I consider 4 over here, the number is as 4. So it won't take 4 over here. Instead of it, it will take 3 over here. So I am ignoring over here 1 and the number itself. So I am giving that number. So it will be counting me the range from 2 till that number, that is the previous number of the specified number which we have given as an input. So after this, I will write down if num person I equal to 0. Okay, I will put a statement over here. Prime equals to this is this, then prime is false. If this is false, then you have to break it. This number is prime number. This number is not a prime number. Okay, let me run this. It's correct. Enter the number 5. This number is a prime number, yes. Now let me run 4. This number is not a prime number, so it is working fine. So how it functions is, so let us have a look over here. See, initially I take an input from here. After taking an input, I assign prime as 2. So for I in range from 2 to number, if the number can be divided by any number in between this, which means it is not a prime number. So this will give me a false. So once this gives me a false, it will break over here. It will break over here and directly it will print this. It is not a prime number. Suppose this is not equal to it, then it will come out as a true statement and it will print me this. So the number is a prime number over here. Fine. After this, the next problem is write a program to find the sum of first n natural numbers. This is very easy. I leave it up to you to do this problem. Then the next one is write a program to calculate the factorial of a given number using for loop. Starting with the factorial problem. So what is factorial? If I say factorial of n, type it factorial of n. So it just means a number from 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 and so on multiplied till n. For instance, if I take the factorial of 5, it will be equals 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 5. Okay, for this problem you have to take an input for which number you have to find a factorial for. For this input, write num equals, the input should be in integer form so that we can find the factorial of it, and put enter the factorial you want to find. After this, we need to set up a loop for it. So I will set up a loop for I in range. You have to start from 1. So I will write 1. It starts from 1 and it ends with the same number which I am giving as an input, right? See, it ends with the same number. So what I need to do is, I can't just write num over here. I have to write num plus 1. Why we have to write num plus 1? Because if I write num, it will consider the previous number, right? Num minus 1. So if I write num plus 1 over here, it will consider the num over here. I need to find the factorial. Okay, before this, I have to write initiate factorial. I have to write factorial equals 1 over here. Then continuously you multiply the factorial. Multiplied by I. After that you get it printed. Print the factorial of num is here, right? After this, let's just run this. This fine. Run it. I'm just scanning string literal page 97. Okay, the problem over here is you have to use the same type of codes. Find the factorial of 5, it's 120. Find the factorial of 4, it's 20. So it's working fine. After this, the next problem is, see, the problems look very tricky, but it is actually very easy. We have to print the star pattern n equals 3. So I will write n equals 3 over here for I in range 3. Over here what you need to do is, you will go back. See this pattern, if you see this is 1, then this is 3, then this is 5, right? So first 1, 3 and last one is 5 over here. Which means what we need to do over here, while printing this, the star pattern, I have to multiply this I plus 1. Okay, if I do this I plus 1, run it. 2 times I plus 1. If I do 2 times I plus 1, I will get a proper pattern over here. 2 multiplied by, use a multiplied sign, run it. Yes, I am getting a proper pattern. So 1, then 3, then 5 over here. Okay. The same thing, right? So now the 8th problem. If you see the 8th problem, it is much tricky as compared to the first one, that is the 7th one. See over here, it is easy over here actually. We need to print spaces over here. Start, there are some spaces, then there is a star. Then again there are spaces, then there are stars. And over here directly you start printing the stars over here. So we need to assign spaces for this particular problem. N equals 3 for I in range. See, we have to give spaces over here. So I will give spaces, put a space over here, right? You need to multiply the spaces, put a mathematical formula over here. I will just write n minus of I minus of 1. Okay. Let's just see whether this works or not. Enter. Don't be over here. Then star will come over here, right? Second is the star, the asterisk. For asterisk, it should be 2 multiplied by, right? It should be 2 multiplied by I minus of 1. So 2 plus of 1. So what I am doing over here is, first initially I am assigning a space over here at the start, then I am printing the star, and after that again I am assigning the space over here. run it. I'm not getting a proper answer over here, even if I have assigned it properly. So what we will do is, instead of using the print command thrice over here, we will put everything in one particular print itself. So use the F command over here, and that should work. This. Next. I use the F string over here. I think it should work now. Let's just run it. Yes, it is working over here, but fine. Yes, we are getting the final answer over here. So better to put it in one particular print command, then it will give me a proper answer over here. So yes, we have done it. Next. Okay, after this problem, I leave it up to you. You can do it. And the last one is, write a program to print a multiplication table of n using a loop in a reverse order. This also you can do. See, in reverse order, what you can do is, we'll go back over here. We have already done a multiplication table, right? So same way you can perform the multiplication table, and afterwards what you can do is, you can save it over here at the bottom in a list form. So whatever you have got is, save it in a list form, and then you reverse that particular list. So you can do it in that way, or what you can do is, you can try to reverse this thing, whatever you're getting as an input, and you can get the multiplication table. So it is up to you how you do it. So we are done with the loops in Python. Thank you all. Let's meet up in the next class.